Yeah, you know. Hello, high-class geek news. We have begun. Friendly neighborhood geekazoid Evan here, with of
And
course.
we're live. It's required Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
Yep. And Rabbit.
What's up?
Eating his sandwich and bread. Well, just bread now. Yep. And I have dressed
Sucker?
like this for Contemporal, the local steampunk time-traveling convention that, for some reason, had a diesel punk theme this year.
Yeah. Better than trying to do cyberpunk at a steampunk convention. That just gets weird.
Oh, the porn. I have learned several fine lessons in life from this con. One, the mom will not remove the daughter from the adults-only burlesque show until after an accidentally popped boob and 3 clothespins have been attached to the topless girl.
Sounds like Avenue Q.
You know, when she found out later that apparently some parent had complained to the con people about that, I told her your Avenue Q story. It made her feel better.
Honey, that's not how we wanted you to learn about the birds and the bees, but that's kind of how it happens. Ignore the finger thing.
I also learned other things, such as when you're out just after the official con stuff and you're just hanging out, one, someone will randomly hand you a Nerf gun so that you're ready for the battle that you weren't really involved in, but fuck it, they hand you a Nerf gun, you are now.
Hey, somebody hands you a Nerf gun, you're involved whether you want to be or not.
Yeah. I was only in it for a few minutes. I hand the guy back his gun. I'm like, yeah, I've done all I want to do now, but if it makes you feel any better, you now have more ammo than you gave me.
Hey, guys, we got more in the peanut gallery. Our numbers went up by 3 more.
Yay!
We're up to 7 now.
And if you find a lovely young lady in a flapper dress, hold on, I'll wait until they're done real quick. Are they done?
Go ahead.
If you find a lovely young lady wearing a flapper dress with raven short hair, and you're thinking, gosh, she's really hot, there's no way I'm going to get a chance to talk to her, all you need to do is sit down and play Cards Against Humanity, and you can talk her into not only playing, but sitting across from you. She was a very lovely lady.
Don't worry, Evan. We will learn you the ways of the con. Con is a wonderful place, full of magic and love.
Uber geek that I am, I really have not done enough con shit in my life. It's weird.
I've never been to one at all. John's supposed to take me to A1.
You've been to BlizzCon, that counts.
Negative.
QuakeCon. You've been to QuakeCon.
Yeah, QuakeCon's not like other cons. It's nothing but non-stop LANing. All the girls that are there are either with the nerds that are gaming or gaming themselves.
The biggest problem with the
It's
con is
terrible.
you have to find the people who are wise enough to know you go to a big social event like that to meet new people. Because it's like almost it's one of those things. It's like going to the coffee shop in a lot of ways for a lot of people. They're there to meet people they already know. I'm like, that's not what this is about, but okay. Anyway, let's get some news going.
All right, moving on.
Moving on. All right, our top story for the evening. Kim Jong-un he's so adorable. He's pretty much declared war on Seth Rogen and James Franco.
I think that's like a highlight in film career right there. We have a despot leader like saying, "I'm going to nuke everybody because you made fun of me." You kind of hit the top.
Hey, I'm sorry. If Kim Jong-un declared war on me, that would be a highlight to my resume. That would be the header for my resume. So epic, North Korea declared war.
I think if it was me, I would just see if I can I would purposely agree to a press conference, and all I will do is go up with a mic I'll bring from home and just go like this and walk off. If that doesn't answer all their questions, they weren't paying attention.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Well, we got a lot to go, so I guess we just move right ahead. Peanut Gallery. Apparently, the only thing new we got to add is that the Peanut Gallery thinks you should be in that movie. All right. Well, speaking of movies, our first topic, as always, coming out in theaters this week, Deliver Us from Evil, Earth to Echo, and Tammy.
I'm sorry. There's actually a little part of me that wants to see Deliver Us from Evil. The premise is absolutely fucking stupid, but I don't care. It looks like it's going to be a semi-decent horror film early in the horror film season, so my happy ass is going to go.
See, now when you say that, I feel like we should be playing a certain Pharrell Williams song. And coming out on DVD this week, The Little Rascals and the Final Terror. I don't think one is a sequel to the other, but leave it to yours. I'll leave it to you.
That just sounds like a snuff film for Buckwheat's death.
As for our stories, following up on something I already reported on, good news, Harrison Ford has been relieved from the hospital. Han Solo is loose.
This is train wreck production.
We've released him from the carbonite. He still needs some. We'll be all right. John, contain your excitement.
It's Han. You act like I'm sorry. The man could lose a leg and he'd still be good. You'd have Han Solo just hopping out one-footed the whole time. Chewie, come on. I can beat you one-legged.
Moving on to other follow-up news. Though a picture hasn't been released yet, details have been revealed of Wonder Woman's costume for the Batman vs. Superman movie, and from what we can get, it's pretty true to the damn comic.
Well, we'll just see. I mean, that's one of the things. All we can do is see how they do. I mean, no offense. I mean, in terms of the comic, they've got a lot of canon to pull from, but in terms of live action, the only thing we got to compare it to is Linda Carter. And as much as I love Linda Carter in the 70s Wonder Woman, not exactly epic.
It was a campy show.
Well, it was the 70s. What do you expect?
Yeah, it was back. It was then in that period where that whole cliche of your superhero has to fight normal villains on television shows came from. That almost completely ruined the Flash and made it unwatchable. Yes, John.
Captain America film.
Yeah. God.
Where he had a motorcycle helmet.
Movie, yeah. Oh no, you're talking about the made-for-TV movies. Yeah, good point. Yeah. Like, no, you need the supervillains because without the supervillains, the superhero makes no sense.
Well,
Come on.
Of course it makes no sense. It's the 70s. I mean, basically, comic movies in the 70s were literally, okay, let's take Scooby-Doo and do it with these characters that are popular in comic books, and we'll be good. So, yeah,
Actually,
Wonder Woman's going to rip the head off old Mr. Wilson who runs the theme park because he's the one who's terrorizing the town.
There was one, it was a made-for-TV movie meant to be a pilot, that did actually have a supervillain because you kind of couldn't not do it considering the subject matter, and that was Doctor Strange, which is essentially it's just literally a direct television translation of the comic as filtered through the 70s.
Well, I mean, all Doctor Strange is the Vincent Price show. You can take anything Vincent Price, it's Doctor Strange.
Except this time it was a younger guy, so instead of the Fu Manchu stash, it was the porn stash.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
it was the 70s.
I know. The guy had a perm, too.
Moving on.
All right, this one. John, please tell me that your pants are zipped. I know you're probably going to bust your zipper when I announce this
I have no zipper right now.
Oh, fuck. Is this close to saying fuck me? Bruce Campbell says he's going to make the B-movie horror equivalent to the Expendables.
I know! It's so awesome! I swear to God, if he doesn't get at least Robert Englund and 3 of the Jason Voorhees, I'm going to be disappointed. And if Julie Strain is not in it, I'm not watching it. As much as I love Bruce Campbell, Julie Strain has to be in it. If he's doing the Expendables of B-horror, we have to have Julie Strange.
You'll go see
it, whether or not he'll be playing Elvis Presley.
Granted, yeah, it's Bruce Campbell. I'm going to go see it, no matter what.
I wonder if we can get a cameo from David Duchovny and
Gillian Anderson?
Yeah, thank you. I can't believe I forgot that name for a second. Yeah.
Yeah, how dare you?
Only if we can get a cameo from the entire cast of Twin Peaks as well.
No, even better, because I think I'm not. Maybe wrong, but I think the guy's still alive. A cameo from the guy who played Raj, go check the Night Stalker.
That could work.
Removed from the remake simply because the in joke will make it worth it. Also, speaking of things from our past coming back in a wonderful, wonderful way, which actually looks like the theme this week to all of our news. One, Shane Black, co-writer and director of Iron Man 3, as well as the full-on writer and director of one of my all-time favorite films, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which you should watch if you haven't already, because it is nothing but fucking awesome, is officially attached to co-write and possibly direct a reboot to Predator.
I'm actually okay with this.
I'm super okay with this. The guy has ties. He was in the first Predator.
No, I'm actually, I could be okay with that. I mean, the Predators needed a reboot because, I mean, the last two films really tanked. I mean, Alien vs. Predator was just disappointing, and Predators, plural, whereas I liked the premise, I really didn't like the way they brought it out, so...
I thought it was good, but I think you kind of have to be a Predator fan from the get-go to really enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, in this one, all I'm hoping is that the Predator gets teamed up with a little boy, and this be the only time we get translations for its language, so we can see all the trash talking to a little boy it does.
Oh, God, can you imagine the Predator being the little boy's imaginary friend?
Predator's Revenge?
It's like Drop Dead Fred, but a horror film. Yes! Phoebe Cates needs to come out of retirement.
For many reasons. But...
we need a sequel to Fast Times. Except now she's Stacy's mom. And
hey,
we're already going on.
Hey, we're already getting a movie coming back from the 80s, or a sequel to a movie from the 80s. And we got a first look at it, Mad Max Fury Road. And Entertainment Weekly actually showed some pictures and storyboards, and I'm looking forward to this.
I agree, actually. I think it fits more in the post-apocalyptic vein than the original Mad Max did. Now, granted, I know we're going to get hate mail for me stating that because, you know, Mad Max is kind of treasured, but by the same token, you know...
I am one of those weird guys. My favorite of the movie so far is the first one, but I understand why Road Warrior is the influential one.
Yeah.
And I'm really liking Tom Hardy so far for what I see of him visually as Mad Max.
Carl Urban has to be in there somewhere. And please tell me we're going to get Warwick Davies as part of Master Blaster.
No, it's not a remake, dude. It's him telling just another Mad Max story.
I know, but Master Blaster made it out of Thunderdome, so we need him back.
No, it's Mad Max. You always just forget the cast from the last one. They don't matter anymore.
I want Master Blaster back. You're not going to change my mind on this.
I'm not sure. Okay, fine, whatever. You don't make the movies.
Yes.
You don't have Master Blaster, but you got Charlize Theron looking more badass than ever.
And one arm.
Yes, I know. I want to do wonderful things to that woman. More so now than usual.
Well, you just better make sure that arm is calibrated right. Otherwise, you're going to have a very painful time.
I'm just getting... All I'm thinking about right now is when Archer had the robot girlfriend with the vibrating vagina.
Oh, God. We're degrading. Moving on.
Yes, and speaking once again of sequels, mark the date. April 7th, 2017. It is official. Pacific Rim 2 is happening.
Yes. More robots. More damage.
Overjoyed. He is excited. We know this was his favorite movie of 2013.
Actually, it's funny. I was at Walmart the other day going through their $5 bin, as I am prone to do from time to time, and I didn't know there was a spin-off called Atlantic Rim.
Oh, God.
I have yet
Asylum ripoff.
I have yet to purchase and or watch this, but I believe it's going to be a moral imperative because, yeah, Atlantic Rim, really.
You gotta love Asylum.
So, what are they going to do? Have something come out of the Hudson River that was from, mutated from all the filth and garbage?
No, it's going to be out of the Thames.
No, it's...
And the Jaeger's going to be piloted by Ireland.
Dude, no. It's Asylum. They're going to do what they always do. It comes out of their ass. That's like all their movies. Sticking to audio-visual mediums, we're going to move on to television. I have finally found a decent website for DVD releases for TV. Coming out this week is the complete series of Last Resort and the Many Loves of Dobie Gillis. I have no idea what that show is. Season 3 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Season 4 of Dick Van Dyke Show. I'm guessing it's the complete series in North and South. It didn't specify there. And Season 5 of Party of 5.
Okay.
TV on.
I have to bring this up. I actually just got a comment that was absolutely hilarious by one of our viewers who has heard me mention the concept of Atlantic Rim and brought up the idea of Atlantic Rim job. Some classy fucking robots there. So,
Come to a point where
God, Vivid's really going to start Vivid's really going to have to start upping their production values if they want to do that. Hey, you know what? Michael Bay, I'm sure, would be more than willing to direct the Transformers porno.
No, I feel sorry for the porn people. You can't make a porn version of Pacific Rim because we're already masturbating to Pacific Rim.
You can, but again, you really got to up your production values. Yeah, maybe Toho can do it. You know, a bunch of people in giant rubber suits fucking on Power Rangers set. That'll work.
They already do that, actually. So, moving on.
Voltron's giant robot cock.
And I'm gonna pull out my sword. No.
And I'll form the cock.
Hell no, it's got tentacles.
quick, get the Chinese
Moving on.
robot or the Japanese robot.
The Chinese one had 3 arms. Okay.
Best stranger you ever had.
All right, stories. Going to the stories. Once again, another follow-up. We continue getting more news about the cast for Daredevil, now being added to Charlie Cox as Daredevil. We now have the cast from Foggy Nelson being played by Eldon Henson. I have no idea who this guy is. I couldn't find anything else off of that he was in, but
Pretty much, yeah. Basically, okay, we've got the update.
We'll find out what that's up with. And also early on, Seth MacFarlane, the guy who's famous in television for giving us Cosmos. That's what he's famous for. But sticking to that kind of vein, though, he is donating $1 million to Reading Rainbow.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why we love Seth MacFarlane even more.
Yes. I don't give a shit what anyone says about how, he just makes bad movies. Oh, I don't like his humor shows. Fuck you. Seth MacFarlane is doing the Lord's work here.
You know, the last time I heard somebody describing doing the Lord's work, it was my brother, and it was, you know, back when he did property law and was foreclosing on churches, but that was only what the Jews in his office told him.
I'm probably going to wind up using that phrase a lot more because I've been listening to a lot of Fat Man on Batman, and whenever he has, like, a writer for the Batman comic, like someone who's currently working on the Batman comic, on, because he's not going to talk to him if he's not a fan already or likes the work, he always goes, "You're doing the Lord's work, sir."
Well, writing Batman is truly the Lord's work. Because Lord knows writing Superman is the devil's work.
Fuck you. Superman's awesome. Without Superman, there is no Batman.
Oh, God.
Nope. This is an absolute truth. Batman was created specifically as a follow-up to Superman.
I know Batman probably wouldn't exist without Superman. Just saying.
Well, let's just move on from this. This is going to be a long-term debate. Let's keep going.
Right. Superman's awesome. Now,
No.
Okay, I have to point this out, though.
Oh, okay, girls, you're both pretty. No one cares. Moving on.
No, this isn't an argument. This is just me pointing out Batman on Batman. For those who haven't listened to it, I just love how every single episode starts with, "And now to say a prayer to our Lord and Savior. Our Batman, who art in Gotham, cowled be thy mane." I love that prayer. Moving on to games. We didn't have much for television news. Oh, what is it, John?
Nothing.
Oh, sorry. You took the mute off, so. Yeah. Going to games. Our releases this week for the PS Vita, Child of Light. Dynasty Warriors, Gundam Reborn for the PS3 and the PS Vita. Guacamelee, Super Turbo Championship Edition for the Xbox 360, Xbox One, and the Wii U and the PS4. And Sniper Elite 3 for PS3, PS4, Xbox 360, and Xbox One.
You see, I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually excited about the Gundam game because I get
Gundam?
excited for every Gundam game, and I'm thoroughly disappointed thereafter. So I'm still excited until I play.
Much like John's love life.
There are people that will argue with you on that one.
I'm looking forward to the Sniper Elite one.
Yes.
I missed out its free play on Steam weekend before the release, so might have to pick it up or might just have to wait to see what other people say about that one.
Well,
If I say, Rabbit, I know good and well the only thing you're looking forward to right now is Star Citizen.
Yes, which 2015 or 2016, depending on how Chris Roberts feels today. Not
well,
begrudging at all.
let's focus on things that are happening. One, this is a thing. This exists. There's a Ministry of Silly Walks game.
Yes! For the iOS, it is awesome. I bought it. It is completely ridiculous fun. I mean, it's a simple runner. That's all it is. But again, being a Monty Python dork, had to buy it. Completely worth it, and a complete wonderful waste of your time and money.
Really?
Yes, really. It's pining for the fjords.
Is there occasionally you go through a door and there's just a Spanish Inquisition? Please tell me yes.
I haven't gotten that far in the game yet, but if they didn't put that in where randomly you have to fight the Spanish Inquisition, I will be disappointed.
You will not see it coming, my good friend.
Mm-hmm. Or walk into a room for an argument.
Speaking of comedies, Godzilla has released some games. And they look wonderful. I'm just happy it's the old school Japanese Godzilla. The new Godzilla looks good, but his arms look weird to me. They're too small.
It's bad when Godzilla has T-Rex arms. That shouldn't happen.
Hopefully they'll fix that in their sequel, because that got burned a while ago. But yeah, but the game looks like the Godzilla movie I wanted to get when they announced a Godzilla movie, but didn't. Fuck, I hate that movie.
You see, I really think Godzilla ought to do what they did back on PS2 for Jaws, when they released Jaws Unleashed, where you got to be Jaws and you got to wreak havoc. Nobody, I mean, as fun as Godzilla games tend to be, especially the fighting games, it's one of those things that, you know, you should be able to wreak havoc. That's the point of Godzilla. If you're not wreaking havoc, it's not that much fun.
From the looks of the stills, it looks like you are playing Godzilla for this. So you can live that old, you can go back to the old school days when you had the NES game where you played the giant monsters that were attacking, will fight each other and try to destroy buildings.
Oh, do not mention the NES Godzilla game. That was horrible.
Not Godzilla. I can't remember the name of the game. You know, it was pretty popular at the time. You remember the one where it was monsters fighting each other? You usually needed 2 players to get some joy out of it. It's kind of like the original like kaiju game, like tribute game for the NES.
Well, apparently, I've just been fed an interesting piece of information from our one viewer that apparently the new president of Texas University is a Godzilla expert.
I love Godzilla experts.
And he plans to have a giant blow-up Godzilla on the quad when he's initiated.
Nice.
So let's see. We have a statue of RoboCop. We may or may not have a statue of Rocky in Russia. Or I can't remember if they went ahead with it or not.
Let's not forget the giant Gundam and Gigantor in Japan.
They have Gigantor too? And will they attack us again?
Oh yeah, they built both.
Well, there you go.
I'm waiting for my zinger now.
Well, I'm not going to be worried to make an actual Megazord. Anyway, going on to comics, our suggestions for this week: Superman Unchained number 7. I think this may be the final issue of what suddenly turned to a miniseries because Jim Lee can't draw fast enough. Batman 66 meets the Green Hornet number 4 because it's 66 Batman being written by Kevin Smith.
Nice.
If you need more than that, why are you here? Original Sin number 6, continuing the greatest team up of all time, Punisher and Doctor Strange. Oh, and various other people. Miracle Man number 8, because we can actually read Miracle Man again without us having to be rich. Twilight Zone number 6 because I am obsessed with the Twilight Zone, and Lazarus number 9 because it is really one of the best comics on the market today, and one I recommend to women everywhere who are like, we need more strong female characters in comics that aren't also just spank material. There's a writer, believe it or not, someone actually complained to the letter section of Lazarus because he said that their model for the character, who, needless to say, is a woman, wasn't sexy enough. Because the character built her realistically, pretty much like a realistic warrior type, like all muscle, will take your ass down. Like, way to miss the point. Way to miss the point.
Mhm.
But moving on to the comic book world, Wizard World has decided to expand itself and is doing 22 shows through 2015. Basically, it looks like there's going to be very few weekends where you're not going to have a Wizard World. They're doing so many that we're even getting one in Raleigh, North Carolina, here at our convention center. I will be there because I'm finally getting a big comic book convention in a city I live in. Who knows? Maybe John will be here for that.
Huzzah!
No, I didn't check, so I'm just going to assume that there's none going to Wisconsin. Because, Wisconsin.
Moving on.
Moving on. So that's the only news I got for comics this week. It makes me upset. Time to depress people with the obituaries. Yeah, this is the first time where the title I put up wasn't a direct reference to our main story. We have lost Eli Wallach at the ripe old age of 92. Others who are not so much in the know may remember him as the Ugly from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, or the villain in The Magnificent Seven, or that really, really old dude in that Wall Street sequel that I think only I saw.
Actually, I'd like to bring up one more bit. This one is, it's another actor who died, and again, it's not. I guess I won't call it terribly geeky. It is geeky for me. Meshach Taylor, when people remember him. Being a dorky kid, grew up in the 80s, I actually watched a show, Designing Women. And Meshach Taylor was the one male character that was a regular on that, and he actually passed away this week. So there's yet two great actors we've lost.
There should be an improv.
As well as Bobby Womack.
Yep.
Who probably, for all we know, at least one of us are here today because of his music. But let's move on to things that are exciting and new. Wow, we're getting through these quick. I think it's going to be one of our shorter shows. Or will it? Because it's time for...
Dun dun dun. Science!
I really should start playing She's Blinding Me with Science or something whenever I do this. First off, there was a mysterious... Wow. That was loud. There was a mysterious bright object that was found on the... basically weird things going on in the oceans on Titan, a moon on this Jupiter, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong here. I'm trying to remember if it's Jupiter or Saturn.
Titan is a moon of Jupiter, I believe that's correct.
Thank
Rabbit?
Yeah, that is correct.
Okay, Jupiter is. Right. So, well, there are, believe it or not, we missions on that moon. And it turns out something weird, some bright object just appeared. We don't know what it is. It was one of those things where it's like the water was completely and totally still, no wind or nothing, and then all of a sudden things are happening. And I think it randomly stopped, and I was just like, what the fuck was that?
It's Cthulhu. He's coming for us. Titan is an ice moon. We're all gonna die.
No, Cthulhu is not going to come for us, and do you know why? Because he knows if he comes to Earth in this day and age, we'll just make him into a porn star.
Only Japan will.
Yeah, you say only Japan. You and I both know most of the viewership of this stuff is coming from this country.
Hey, we won't make it, but we'll watch it.
Like everything Japan does. And moving on, in our continuing quest as a species to make sure that we turn Star Trek science fiction into a documentary, Nestle is hoping to create a crackling replicator. No one goes so far as to make like full-on meals with the dishes and all that, but at least we'll create like little protein pills and things that we can eat. Nestle, as a way of fighting eating disorders and gastrointestinal distress. Nestle.
I'm all for food replicators, I really am, but before we get food replicators, I want the little knife from, damn it, Hitchhiker's Guide that makes toast as you cut the bread. That's what I want first.
You know, honestly, the thing I want the most to this day, it's the actual real-life lightsaber, the have-life lightsaber. It's the one I want more than any. And it was in the Family Guy Star Wars parody where it was a little lightsaber cheese slicer.
Yeah. Though I have a feeling, well, you know, with technology the way it's going, before we get Star Trek, we're going to get ice pirates.
No ice warriors. Come on, Doctor Who, don't lie to me.
Not ice warriors, ice pirates. If you've never seen that film, it's a wonderful made-for-TV sci-fi film from the 80s starring Robert Ulrich. Watch, laugh, enjoy.
Speaking of watching things, scientists have been watching out using X-rays and found a weird signal 240 million light years away, possibly from neutrinos. We're not sure. It's a mystery.
Then we better get the mystery crew in there. Somebody call Scooby and Shaggy and tell them to get off their asses.
Reggie, it's a neutrino, Reggie.
Jinkies, where are my glasses?
You left them on Earth. Motherfucker! Anyway.
Yeah, they're on Daphne's nightstand.
I'm being totally high, Scoob! Of course, we've left the atmosphere. Now, this one, honestly, out of all the things under science, we still have a couple more things after this, but this is the one that really has me excited. A wonderful thing called a neurobridge, which is essentially a chip that can be implanted into somebody's nervous system. People who like had serious injury that more or less severed the nerves, made it so they can't use a limb anymore. This can actually recreate the electrical impulse needed so they can move that muscle.
Nifty.
We are that much closer to RoboCop.
Science!
I want robot legs.
I shall become more powerful than you could possibly imagine. Oh, wait, that's another. Anyway. I don't know, in my mind, I just get the image of that Space Invader Zim episode where he just makes a mech full of, like, human organs. Anyway. And also, we have learned that magnesium chloride, which is an ingredient of tofu, can be used to replace the harmful and very expensive current materials for solar cells. That shit is actually good for something.
Tofu's gonna save the world.
I thought this little porch club isn't you. Fuck off.
And also, we have observed a supernova and realized things aren't moving like we expect them to, so now the speed of light may be something more of a question mark. Either that or neutrinos are fucking with us. Yeah, neutrinos like to do that. They are the dicks of astro-quantum physics.
No, that's the quark. It exists, it doesn't exist, is it? The quark just needs to come out of the closet.
Yeah, but neutrinos are even more dicks because it's impossible to damn near ever see them.
Well, true, the same with free radicals.
Not only that, but on the rare occasion where we do see them, the idea is that we're pretty sure neutrinos move faster than the speed of light, but they stop doing that once they're observed. It's like a real-life Schrodinger's cat.
Oh,
It's
no.
hilarious because Schrodinger's cat was a BS concept, but
The neutrinos have a shy bladder. They They don't work well under pressure.
No, the reason that they slowed down is because that in order for us to observe them, they have to actually impact an object. They tend to go through most material, just fly right through it. That's why there's the giant facilities that are buried, 400 feet underground. They have those light-emitting. I can't remember exactly what they're called. They're like a photovoltaic receptor, and the thing's full of a pool of water. And that the only time they ever know that a neutrino hits it is when the entire place lights up.
Yeah, we run the same problem with dark matter, and I think it's just because it's, gothy and misunderstood, and that's why we never get to observe it, because it's just sitting there watching fucking, listening to The Cure and writing bad poetry.
Well, as long as I'm not too worried about antimatter giving us too much trouble, because that's if we see that just means, well, anti-monitor's on his way and we're all fucked.
Apparently, that makes neutrinos the weeping angels now. Thank you, listener.
So don't blame. All right. Moving on to our miscellaneous. I'm so glad we have a miscellaneous section. It was one of those things. It's probably not really geek-related in any way, shape, or form, but it entertains me, so we're putting it up. Shia LaBeouf has been removed from a Broadway theater and arrested for basically causing shit with his neighbor.
Oh, lovely.
Assault with a deadly weapon, no less.
Classic. Hey, look. Have you seen those New York playbills? You can do some damage with one of those things. I mean, you can kill a son of a bitch with a New York playbill. You just really gotta want him dead.
Sunday New York Times works better.
True. Especially if you want the prick dead.
Oh, we got 2 pricks, and so far, no matter what happens, they don't seem to be going away. Sorry, I'm still thinking about Justin Bieber, because he's the only person who's as much of a prick I can think of as Shia LaBeouf right now.
I'm just going to love to see him when he gets into like his 30s and 40s and starts gaining weight and becomes a bigger joke than Elvis ever was in his decline. Yeah, I cannot wait for the Justin Bieber rehab reunion tour. That is going to be fucking epic.
Oh, God.
I might actually pay money for that ticket just to watch the train wreck.
Only if I can bring rotten fruit.
Yeah, I look at Shia LaBeouf personally, and you gotta. How are you such an absolute? How do you fail so utterly that you have found a way to brag about having had sex with Megan Fox, and not only does it make you look like a douchebag if that's not true, but the circumstances that you openly admit it was under makes you a douchebag if it is true.
I got nothing. There is no argument for or against this one. It's just, wow, dude, serious.
Yep.
Yeah, he pulled off that fail.
I mean that's some Carrot Top level douchery. That's even worse than Carrot. That's some fucking Dustin Diamond Screech level douchery. I mean, you don't get any douchier than Screech.
Shia LaBeouf will try. He will get there, man.
When Screech makes you look like a saint, or the other way around, I'm sorry, when you make Screech look like a good guy, there's a problem.
Even Screech says Screech is a douchebag, so yeah.
Yeah, well, at least he's self-aware of his douchery, but still.
Shia LaBeouf doesn't seem to be. He still seems to think the thing he did wrong with that stealing Daniel Clowes lines, dialogue, and shots and all that from that one comic. He still thinks the thing he did wrong seemed to be getting caught.
Well, it's bad when you have the Kevin Federline of... It's bad when you're the Kevin Federline of acting. You just kind of sit there and you hang on the coattails, and that's about it.
And they tried to pass him off as a new Indiana Jones for a bit. That's what happens when you don't just hire Nathan Fillion like you should.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I disavow any knowledge of that last Indiana Jones film.
What are you talking about? The Last Crusade was a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
Aliens!
Ew!
And the Peanut Gallery agrees.
Yeah. Here, for anyone who's been lucky enough to not see it, a further reason to not watch it. Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull, a movie with a title that implies an Indiana Jones movie, but it's not, I can sum it all up like this. Aliens, man. Aliens.
No.
I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens.
I look at it this way: that last Indiana Jones film is summed up by one title: Refrigerator of Doom.
God.
Oh, shit.
There was also no Nazis. None.
I will say this. I still have no intention of watching it, but the fact that there is no Shia LaBeouf is an improvement on the Transformers franchise.
See, I have no desire to watch the now in production Indiana Jones film because, I mean, for Harrison Ford to sit there and go, maybe it's okay for Indy not to kick as much ass? No, I'm not sold.
If it's his Indy because he's too old, but he's going to do a flashback tale about Indy being played by Nathan Fillion when he's in his prime, I'm okay with it.
That'd be fun.
So basically, we're going to take an Indiana Jones film and turn it into an Uncharted film. I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
It'll probably be better than the Uncharted movie. It'll be just like how whenever I want to see a good Fantastic Four film, I pull out my copy of The Invisibles.
There you go.
The Incredibles, not The Invisibles. The Invisibles is a really massive comic book that has done weird things to my brain chemistry, and I fear that book with passion.
Comic books in general have done weird things to your brain chemistry.
Not like The Invisibles. So you have to remember, I didn't read The Invisibles on an issue-by-issue basis. I got the omnibus, read the entire thing in a month, and it really... about halfway through, it started to feel like I was doing drugs. No comic has ever had that effect on me. Alan Moore couldn't pull that off in a fucking first issue of Swamp Thing.
I got nothing on that one. Got nothing on that one.
Moving on. This is a follow-up to something we actually reported on, I believe, very, very early on HCGNews. The Supreme Court battle with Aereo versus the TV broadcasters. How they're claiming that that was not stealing to just take what antennas are having and taking the recordings and using them. Well, they lost that Supreme Court battle. I can't remember.
And our living room is like
I
12
don't remember
square feet.
exactly what the details
It's like sitting in the front room of a goddamn theater.
whatever the big, yeah, kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Mainly because I'm just kind of always on the side of the internet and these TV broadcasters versus the internet things. So, Don, are you back?
Am I what?
I saw that. The one with the big...
Sorry, we just had a really weird white noise moment for there. Oh, there it is again.
No, you got me on that one.
There was...
Anyway. All right. Wow, we are doing a really quick show today. I don't think we'll actually be done before 10. Hell, we'll probably be done before 9:50 at the rate we're going. This is the breaking news. Once again, David is our official researcher, and I swear this guy never stops doing research. He was still giving us stuff after we had already done the rundown and all that. Is where we get our breaking news from. First one. This breaking news is for the ladies. Men, you're gonna hate yourselves now. If you have any intention of one day being engaged to a girl, this is the last thing you wanted to hear. But the ladies, oh, get ready to be turned on like you've never been turned on before. In space, there is a diamond the size of the Earth. Oh, yeah.
Okay, Evan, I'm going to say this for what few viewers we still have left. Don't ever do that again. Because, no. Never, ever, ever, ever. I'm going to go Chris Tucker on you. Don't you ever, 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 ever do that again.
You went a little Max Headroom there. What? I'm bringing Creepy back.
So, has the De Beers Company bought the possibility of this planet existing yet?
I hear they're in a bidding war with Cartier.
God. The thought going through my mind is, oh, the universe went to Jared.
Diamond Planet should pretty much have to.
This is an excuse to put Neil deGrasse Tyson in a Diamonds commercial. That's what this is.
Diamond Planet. That'll shut her up.
For a minute.
Speaking of diamonds, Neanderthal poop. We got some. This is the oldest found human-ish poop so far, and it has given us an idea of what they were eating back in the day. Mostly meat. So it's kind of like a porn star.
There you go, vegetarians. Fuck you.
If Neanderthals were vegetarians, we would not be here today. Well, we're vegetarians, sorry.
Don't come to me saying, well, our ancestors ate nothing but grains. Bullshit. We have Neanderthal poop. Screw you.
Yeah. Not only was it mostly meat,
Drop the mic.
But they're not entirely sure if the flora that was also in there was actually genuinely what they ate directly, or if that was just from the digestive systems of the animals they ate. So that could be double. So even as vegetarians, they were carnivores. Fantastic. And also because this is just moving on. This is one of those groups, just as decent human beings, we love to see any pie in their face they can get, even though most of the pies to their faces are kind of self-applied. The anti-vaxxers have lost a court battle in New York City when, I believe it was their kids were not allowed in public schools for health reasons because they haven't had their vaccines for certain things, because anti-vaxxers are like, oh no, vaccines are bad for children, or bad for people in general. Because anti-vaxxers are morons.
Hey, I just love the fact that the anti-vaxxer and the flat earth person got fired from The View. Do you know what you have to do to get fired from The View when Whoopi won't put up with your shit? I mean, seriously.
What? I will never understand anti-vaxxers. Like, even as a kid, I understood vaccines well enough to know how and why everything they're saying is full of shit. It causes autism. Then how come people had autism before vaccines?
Yep. Or why don't more people have autism?
You know what? Just accept the fact. Sometimes genes go wrong, and your kid has autism. The whole genome is a crapshoot, people. It's a gamble. You can sit there. It's not just any crapshoot. It's a fucking Vegas casino crapshoot. You can sit there and say you got a system all you want to. Only the house is going to win in the end. There's no control over it. That's the
I look at it this way. If one of your main mouthpieces for anti-vaxxing is also a representative, a celebrity endorser for blue electronic cigarettes, you don't get to fucking talk to me about goddamn vaccines.
Yep.
The only thing I can say about her is the boobs are nice. Wait, she said something about vaccines?
Used to be. They're not there anymore.
Speaking of big things, not there anymore. For a while now, we're looking at a couple of black holes and galaxies that are neighboring each other, but even by galactic standards, not really too close, until we realized that one of those black holes wasn't one black hole, but two. So we got two monster black holes in pretty decent proximity of each other, and we can't wait to see what that means.
You know what it means? The impossible planet exists, which means we do have the Doctor, which means it's still Tennant's brother. We're going to be okay!
At least until Peter Capaldi finally comes to terms with his friggin' kidneys. Now, I still need to watch that trailer. That's another thing. How's this for breaking news? The teaser trailer for the new season of Doctor Who is out there. I will be watching it immediately after this show.
I bet there's a doctor, and I bet he does some shenanigans.
It's not great. I'm not gonna lie. It's nothing impressive.
That was just a teaser. It can only be so impressive.
Well, I know, but it's not like we get any random bits of footage from the new season. We don't get shit. It's literally just random still images over an audio track, but it's still a teaser, so we'll take it.
Damn it, so it's not even like the old Christopher Eccleston teaser trailers where it was like him going up saying, hey, we're going to go on an adventure. And you're getting a taste of his doctor. That sucks.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want when I get a teaser trailer from Doctor Who. I don't even want you to tell me the stories. I want you to tell me what's coming up. All I want for you, if I have a brand new doctor, is I want to get an idea of what my doctor is going to be like. Because that's what I'm most anxious for. It's what Scotty Jones, man.
Precisely. But at least we have a date now, August 23rd.
Yes, August 23rd.
So we don't have to wait till Christmas. Yay!
Actually, I think the reason, if I remember correctly, they held it back so far is that there would be very little wait between the season finale and the Christmas special.
Very true.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot wait, being the Whovian that I am.
None of us Whovians can wait.
Yeah. I still remember those days when you were like, no, I'm not doing Doctor Who. Okay, I know.
Yes. I firmly admit it took being dead awake after a graveyard shift, working as a forklift operator, watching tenants run to admit it's good. And what did I do? I watched a bunch of episodes and admitted you were right. Okay? You were right. I'm sorry. But you know what? At least it wasn't a man.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
But the Doctor is a man.
A doctor is more than a man.
Wow.
He's more than just an ordinary Time Lord. Have you even watched Classic Who yet? I've never asked you that before.
Yes, I've gone back and watched Classic Who.
Who's your favorite classic Doctor? 5?
Yes, 5.
The blonde one? Really?
Yeah.
Are you aware that... Well, are you aware that internet personality Dimanda Hagen is actually, for the last 6 months or so now, been doing a web series where she's reviewing every season of Classic Who, one by one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know where she's up to, and I still have to catch it.
I'm going that way.
Yeah, I'm about to say, that's your doctor right there. Well, your other doctor. You lost your doctor recently.
Too soon, man. Too soon.
Dude. Yeah.
That joke was lamer than FDR's legs.
No, dude, come on. I know what it's like to lose when you realize you're, and you were lucky. You were lucky. It took me years to realize how much I loved Tennant. You loved Matt Smith right away.
I'll give you that one.
And then you got to lose him in real time. You had 3 glorious years, and oh, he's gone. 4 actually. Now I think about 4 years.
I'll just play on Wednesday.
3 seasons, whatever. But yeah.
Very true. We got anything else, Evan?
No, that actually does us for the week. We have gotten through 2 full pages of news in under an hour.
Only slightly. Huzzah!
It was a quickie.
Hey, it ain't the length of time, it's the length of it's the size of the orgasm.
Now I just want to play that stupid theme song from 2001: Space Odyssey every time I'm having good sex now. We gotta time this, honey. We gotta time this.
I'm trying to rig it up so my zipper plays the small chest theme from the Zelda films or the Zelda games. When you unzip it, it goes da 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 da.
Yep, that's a good
it
place.
It truly is a treasure.
That was definitely a good place for us to end it. This was a production of HighClassGeek.com. I promise I will be updating it in the near future some days. We can get all of our episodes on there. But until then, they are still up on our YouTube channel, of course, High Class Geek. Feel free to watch any of our past stuff. Having just come from Contemporary, if in June you find yourself in the Raleigh, North Carolina area, I highly recommend you come and join us. Some good times we had, some good people, some good parties. I am promoting Contemporary. I've gone to geek whore status. Once again, thank you to David Book for continuing to give us awesome research and stressing me out every Saturday because I have so much to have to sit through. I'm at the point now. I'm tempted to just discontinue the source board and start separating it into source boards for each category to make it simpler for me. He is just a fucking research machine. He was still researching for us like 15 minutes before we started airing. That's where all of our breaking news came from. He's that quick. He's that good. He is that much of a contributor. So once again, shout out to David Book. Can't hope if anytime you come on again, we can't wait to have you. I was, of course, your friendly neighborhood geekazoid, Evan Ransom. With me today was everyone's favorite angry monkey, John Little. And, of course, and everybody's favorite villain from a Monty Python skit, Rabbit, lover of Pacific Rim.
Look at the bones! Look at the bones!
It's just a wee bunny.
Run away!
Run away! Yes, you domine.
And this was High Class Geek News. We'll be back next Sunday, 9 o'clock, assuming everything goes right. Same geek time, same geek channel. Just remember, we do not report the news. We just tell you what we think about it.